Bobby Kennedy seems to be like so so fast. Like I remember I used to watch Tony Blair during question period, and he'd like leap up and he'd be like blah blah blah, and he was so like he knew everything and the facts and stuff. Like you've interviewed him a bunch of times, or
I've talked to him many times. I interviewed him once.
is he that good in person?
Oh yeah. He's legit. I mean, he was an environmental attorney.
Yeah,
that was his background, and he's had a crazy life. Imagine you're 14 years old and your dad gets killed by who knows? But it might be the government.
That's my first episode.
Yeah,
assassinations, deep state. Getting into it.
Well, it's a real thing. I don't know who's doing it or what faction or how small the amount of people are that are involved in it. I mean, imagine if you're like a legitimate person working for the CIA and you think that the CIA is trying to assassinate Trump, and you're like, well, what the fuck? Or whoever.
That's our first episode.
It's got to be. I mean, it's got to be a small faction of intelligence agencies that want to do things like how many people do you think were involved in the Kennedy assassination?
So there's a guy named Peter Dale Scott who actually wrote the book on the deep state and brought like the concept over from Turkey to here and broke it. And if you talk to him, so he was really involved or wrote about or covered they tried to assassinate Castro. That was the first American deep state thing, which is like, by the way, that's factual. That's like,
oh yeah,
they were the mob and the Cubans and the CIA, and they tried to commit.
Many times they tried to kill him.
And it failed.
Yeah.
And then, that sort of morphed, and there's all this sort of mix into the Kennedy and Bobby Kennedy, Robert RFK assassination attempts that this guy was referencing. And you're just like, deep state has such a negative connotation to it because it's like conspiracy-ish. But you're like, when it got explained to me by the guys who sort of coined the terms, which is, like there's the intelligence agencies or the Pentagon, career bureaucrats who, by the way, go back and forth. It's a rotating door. They go to Raytheon, they go to Boeing, and they get the contract, trillions of dollars. And they act in cahoots with each other. And you're like, yeah, that makes total fucking sense.
Of course.
Like
it's business relationship.
And then if they have something that needs to happen, you have all kinds of people who will do that thing for you.
Yes.
So it's not why. Yeah, exactly. It's not bureaucrats in the
it's
in the
probably
CIA.
It could literally be one guy who's a top executive,
or 100,
or a few people that come to a conclusion and don't even have to say it, and then a plan gets hatched. Yeah, and then next thing you know, there's a guy on a roof. Yeah.
We're already into.
Yeah.
I can just see the fucking tweet stopping.
Fuck the tweets.
But